Budget cuts across the board have been mandated by the state of North Dakota, and your children could be impacted by them. Good evening, everyone. Thanks so much for joining us tonight. $1 billion. That's the projected revenue shortfall for the state of North Dakota, and the reason state agencies are being forced to cut their budget by more than 4%.
Valley News Team's Cornelius Hawker talks to two people who say these budget cuts will impact those who already face financial uncertainty.
I personally just see that causing people to quit their jobs to stay home with their kids because they're not going to be able to afford childcare.
Kelsey Conroy, director of the Tot Spot Infant Center in Fargo, says the planned budget cuts impacting the child care assistance program will leave the families who depend on it in a state of limbo.
It will cause either the families that have it currently to lose it completely or for their reimbursement to go down dramatically.
Conroy says the child care assistance program already causes problems for their center, so they planned accordingly for these cuts.
We are paid about a month and a half after we actually bill for it. If we're not getting paid for months or getting paid a lot less than we are expecting, it creates a big problem for us financially.
From diapers to dorms, your children who are older will also feel the impact of budget cuts. The North Dakota University system says institutions across the state will be faced with nearly $30 million combined in cuts. NDSU is facing around $6.4 million in cuts. The Student Government Association president Eric McDaniel says students are already worried about a lot without having to think about the cuts facing their school.
Every student, at the basic level in college, you have to pay for tuition and fees, and you have to be able to pay for your education. And on top of that, where you're going to live, where you're going to eat, the type of fun that you're going to have while in college.
McDaniel says students are worried about the unknown because NDSU hasn't ironed out what student services, if any, will be impacted by these state-mandated budget cuts.
People don't know what might be taken away from them. They want to make sure that students, like NDSU is a student-focused university, making sure that that's the university's primary focus is how can we keep our core student-focused student services available, but at the same time making the budget cut that we have to do that's mandated by the state.
Cornelius Hawker, Valley News Live.
For a full list of all the agencies impacted by these state-mandated cuts and to learn how the State Board of Higher Education is trying to help out college students, you can head to valleynewslive.com and look for this story.
Tonight, early findings from a Valley News Live exclusive investigation. The man who shot and killed Fargo police officer Jason Moszer a week ago was not stopped from buying a firearm because of changes to the North Dakota Century Code. Marcus Schumacher was a convicted felon stemming from a 1988 incident in Grand Forks where he shot and killed another man. That meant that he could not legally obtain a gun. In 2011, the Century Code was amended to include language allowing felons to petition to district court to have their gun rights restored. And the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives says Schumacher petitioned sometime in the last 5 years, and a judge signed off on it. The ATF also says it's been investigating how Schumacher obtained the gun he used to kill Officer Moszer.
Everyone from the Fargo Police Department will be able to attend Monday's funeral for fallen officer Jason Moszer. Fargo Police are thanking the Cass County Sheriff's Department and West Fargo Police, who will be taking over Fargo streets for a 24-hour period.
Our way of mourning Jason is to be able to make all of this happen for everybody else. And to all of us, I can't think of a greater honor than to make this happen for them.
On Monday, 32nd Avenue will be shut down to the public from Veterans Boulevard to 45th Street South from 9 in the morning until around 4 in the afternoon. Given how complex the funeral will be, Fargo Police advise paying your respects in other ways. For instance, we're streaming it live online and on air.
Some residents living in one of the NDSU high-rises had to clean up water tonight. It happened when a sprinkler head broke off. Fire crews found a flooded dorm room on the 4th floor. The water reached 3 inches deep in some spots. They tell us that crews were able to clean everything up with minimal damage.
Times are changing. That's what some North Fargo residents are saying about their neighborhood after a high-speed police chase led to a search in North Fargo this morning. Fargo police were looking for people after the car was ditched near the 600 block of Oak Street. Just a week ago and a few blocks over is where the standoff occurred that led to Officer Moser's death. People who have lived in the area for many years say things have changed around there, like the type of people moving in.
With the other things that are happening in the neighborhood, the city's getting bigger, and a certain percentage are just going to be bad people, do evil things, and I still feel safe though.
This neighborhood has went downhill for the last 20 years I've lived here. It was a safe neighborhood when I first moved in.
Fargo police say they have had neighborhood meetings in that general area after last year's double murder near 12th Avenue North, and they know people have concerns.
This was one of the first things I was told when I started on my journey to lose weight and get fit. You can't outrun a fork. I've been at it since the first of the year and will continue until the end of this month. While exercise has played a huge role, diet has as well. And tonight, I want to share with you the approach I've been using. And at the end of this story, I'll update you on my weight.
There's no food that you can't have if you're wanting to lose weight.
How's that for starting out a story on dieting? Sanford dietitian Bree Cernsky's approach is not about avoiding certain foods. It's really the idea of balance and moderation.
It's not about diet. It's about lifestyle. And so if you want to go on a quote-unquote diet, then good luck. But statistics will tell us that 5% of people that diet will actually maintain their weight loss. 95% are gaining the weight back and generally gaining above and beyond what their weight was when they started.
I don't want that to happen. I'm enjoying what I've been seeing when I step on the scale. So what's Bree's game plan for me? A baby cries when it's hungry. Wait till you start to cry a little bit.
And really thinking we're born with these cues. That's an innate quality, is to want food when you're hungry and to be done when you're full.
So forgetting the usual 3 meals a day, I've been trying to eat a little bit more often, 3 to 5 times a day. I'm trying to eat fruits, vegetables, whole grains, lean protein, low-fat or fat-free dairy. I'm also limiting the portions. Despite the no forbidden food rule, I'm staying away from soda, chocolate, and other candy and chips. On my list of foods that I'm eating more, yogurt and fruits by far. And I'm drinking water, not the 8-ounce glasses that are recommended, but more each day.
Don't cut out the foods that are your favorites, because you're not going to be able to do that long term. Don't think that you're going to, run 20 miles every day. Keep it reasonable and keep your expectations to such that you can continue.
Here's something else that I've been cutting back on: snacks at work and, of course, at home. Those are very tempting, and they are real challenges. All right, let's check out my weight. At the end of last year, I was somewhere between 220 and 225 pounds. 2 Thursdays ago, I weighed in at 214.1. Last Thursday morning, the scale read 212.3. This morning, I got on the scale, and it said 209.3. That's a 3-pound drop, one that did come after 2 days of being flat on my back with the flu. But thankfully I'm over that and have a week to go to hopefully reach my goal, which is somewhere between 200 and 205 pounds. Next Thursday, I'm going to have another report for you, probably the most important aspect: sustaining the process over the long haul. If you haven't been able to catch all of these stories here on TV, they are being posted on our website at valleynewslive.com.